trapped under a perpetual slate-grey sky, this city of mine. It's not really. Global warming is done for that, blistering summers with endless blue in all directions. But they are still slate-grey to me. And this is not depression I'm describing, but an affection. Because all I ever remember was drizzle slapping you in the face day after day throughout my childhood. I refuse to acknowledge the sun, the blue skies, because the drizzle's what makes this place home. It's part of the essential nature of this city, along with the chip shop-related heart attacks and the knife crime. Something to feel perversely proud of. Murder capital of Western Europe? You're damn fucking right it is. And out of nowhere, the blade is under my neck. Whispered threats in my ears, I'm drawn backward, off balance, as I'm laid down upon a tomb. This is no flight of fancy. The darkness of the necropolis is where I so very nearly met my fate. And he's counting down from 10, 9, 8. His associates, a group of 3 are standing over his shoulder, more scared than I am in my drunken stupor, and I'm looking him square in the eye. He's told me what he's going to do, this total stranger. I am literally going to die. And he's not merely counting down to put the fear in me before he lets me go. I can see in his face that he's building himself up. He's readying himself to slit my throat. I'd be lying if I didn't admit there wasn't a hint of peach to the grey skies today. But that's not what you want to hear, is it? The grim north with a hint of peach. And I was out at the cinema in one of these malls recently. I'd been there several times before, when I suddenly realised, hold on, this is the old Pollock Centre where I used to come swimming as a kid. Always with my head in the clouds, I'd step into the car and hey presto, you're in Inverness or the Lake District or wherever. I had no idea how to get anywhere. That was grown-up stuff. Then as the years roll past, it's the bus into town and then the train to wherever, and out of public transport my understanding of the world expands. Then after nights of drunken excess, I'd find myself stumbling through the city streets, making these connections. Oh right, so that's how these two different bits join together. And to me, this shiny big cookie-cutter mall just appeared out of fucking nowhere. Like I give a fuck. But hold on a second, if this really is the Pollock Centre, then where are all the grim-faced punters, the ones which I remember populating this place since childhood? And in that very moment the scales fell away from my eyes. They were all around me, the gurning faces of the unwashed masses, but tarted up, gentrified in exactly the same way as the fucking mall itself. Is a reality that I couldn't unsee. These were traditional working-class people, a large percentage of whom were probably unemployed. They were all smartly turned out in their Debenhams garb in a way in which they never gave a fuck about before. And it all just seemed so fucking fake. They'd taken away all the old cafes. I wouldn't even be able to tell you where you could get a decent all-day breakfast around here. Now, obviously, nobody gives a fuck or they wouldn't have closed down, but it's the sign of a culture in atrophy. It's dying off, one greasy spoon at a time. And I'm not entirely averse to Americanization in that I'm quite content with a cheeseburger and an Avengers movie, but there's a certain loss of identity which comes with mass commodification, which extends beyond the overpriced boutiques. It's not a superficial thing. It extends into the collective psyche, and it comes at a cost. Yes, everything's shinier, but it's also more sterile, colder. The corporations are sucking the marrow out of your bones, and with it goes our sense of community. And why is that important? It's the ability to communicate on a deep personal level, something which the kids brought into this world will never know they lost. 7, 6, 5, our eyes are connected, and you can see something in me that perhaps scares him slightly. There's part of me that wants him to do it. Come on, you cunt. Fucking kill me right here in the city of the dead, because I so very nearly killed myself before through hanging, slit wrists, police taking me down off rooftops. You're doing me a favour. Don't pussy out. Be a man. Fucking do it. But there was no flinching in him. There was some deep pain, some unhinged lunacy in his soul, just as there was in mine. In that moment, it was a complete inevitability. It was happening. Without question, between the pair of us, it was happening. And maybe I'm over-romanticising something which is inherently flawed, but when you love something, it is in part because of the flaws. And I love this city, make no mistake about it. I love it deeply. Glasgow, with the Gothic revival style of its Victorian architecture, is exquisite. Buildings constructed in the late 19th century with an emphasis on the ornate. Grand, tall designs with an abundance of pointed arches, gargoyles, and the occasional flying buttress. I love the grim, grey, gritty fuck you of it all, because it's my home, and I've got the scars to prove it. 4, 3, and the group of guys at his back are frozen in place. They're doing fuck all about it. I'm about to get my throat cut and bleed out in this graveyard. They're all going to be accessories to murder, because they haven't the balls to step up and do something to stop it.